Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be demoing and kind of doing a first impressions on all the products that I just hauled for y'all yesterday. So if you haven't caught that video yet, definitely go check it out. I mentioned there that I'm kind of starting a new series where on Mondays we're going to do I think in that video I said Monday makeup mashup, but somebody said makeup mayhem. I kind of like that too. You guys are definitely way more clever than me. So if you guys haven't checked that one out, I'll go ahead and link it above. But I basically shared a whole bunch of products that I'm really excited to try out. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a little tutorial using them. Obviously in the previous video, I did do some swatches, but other than that, none of these products have been on my face yet. That's why we're starting off this video with a bare face. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Now, for the last month or so, I've been going in and doing my eyes first, my foundation, and then my eyebrows, which is like skirt, completely reversed from what I used to do. But one of the products that I'm going to be testing today is a brow product, and just in case things get a little bit cray, I don't want to have maybe a bomb eye look and then end up with crazy brows. So we're going to go ahead and start off with brows first. I came prepared with makeup wipes just in case things get a little bit crazy. So this is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. I'm thinking maybe we'll see more things from the Tattoo Studio line. At least I'm just guessing. I don't know. The way that it's labeled, I'm like, maybe there'll be more within this collection. I'm going to be using the shade Soft Brown. Whenever I was reading in the little PR package, it was saying that they want you to start from mid-brow, kind of just wipe off the excess from the spoolie, start mid-brow, and then kind of just drag the product towards the tail end of your brow. I thought maybe we would fill in with a pencil first and then this, but we're going to apply it the way that it says. And then on here, I was reading that it says that it's a no-hassle wear that lasts up to 2 days. It's a waterproof gel, and it fills brows and does not transfer or smudge. So here we go. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous because when I swatched it, it seems like a pretty wet product. So you have this kind of flocked tip. Can I focus on this guy, not my face? It doesn't look like there's any fibers or anything. It just looks like a true gel. And I'm nervous. I don't know why. I'm just going to lightly, okay. When you wipe off the excess, it actually isn't too bad. The color seems good, but because of the flocked tip, it's kind of hard to guide it without coming too far down or too far up. So it said mid-brow, but I'm really, really sparse over here. So I'm going to kind of brush in that way, and then maybe let's do this a little bit more. I'm literally just grazing over my brow. I don't want to go in there and create super dark stamps of brow gel. That color, I think I'm liking it. So now I'm just going to take a spoolie that I have. This is from the Benefit Brow Brush, and apparently I combed my hair with it because there was hair stuck in it. And I'm going to see how well I can kind of move this product around. Seems like you do have some time to spread it out a bit. Interesting. Okay, I just don't see a good way for me to get towards the tail because the tip of this is kind of thick. I'm going to take a little bit more just from the edge or the lip of the packaging and do a little bit more here. Oh, I feel like I went a little bit heavy right there. Now, for the tail portion of my brow, I just really don't see a good way to get that flocked tip in there and pull it downwards and create the tip that I want. So what I'm going to do is take the actual brush side of my brow brush, kind of just dip it right into this flocked portion, maybe wipe a little bit off on my hand because as you can see, it's a super, super thin formula. It's not thick or goopy. There's no fibers. It's a true wet gel formula. So I'm just going to drag a little bit of this. Nothing too crazy, just about that much. Okay, and then whatever's left on the brush, I'm just lightly going to go on the under portion of my brow. And then kind of do the front. So it's almost kind of like a stain in a way, the consistency of it reminds me of a stain in that it's super, super thin. Okay, so that's not bad. I mean, it's not the most perfect brow, but for using a liquid product, that's not bad at all, and it was pretty easy. So that one was soft brown. Maybe next time I could go in and mix a little bit of medium brown. Just since I have dark hair, I don't like to have really, really dark eyebrows. Otherwise, I just feel like it looks too strong. I'm having a crazy brow day. The actual brow product isn't bad. It's just my application today, my brows is looking like distant cousins. But whatever, we're gonna go with it. Okay, moving on to product number 2. We're gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution 𝗃 palette. Many of you guys did comment and say that the YouTuber's name is 𝗃𝗃𝗧'𝗦. Definitely gonna have to go and check her out. As I look in this palette, it does look like we have some brow bone options, which is always good. So I think I'm gonna go in and mix both of these top matte shades. We have Penguin and Pancakes. I'm just gonna go in and mix both shades because I don't really want like a solid stark white brow bone highlight. And I'm going to go in and just pat this in. Lately, I haven't really been using eyeshadow primer. When I do, I'll just go in with a concealer. So still feel like we are giving this a fair shot. Formula does seem nice and smooth. I'm not seeing any chunks or anything like that. I do feel like I have to go in and dip a couple of times though to get the pigmentation that I want, at least for this. I always like to go in and just kind of create a nice blank, even canvas. Honestly, when I look in here, I can't help but want to go in and use all those really nice, warm, rich tones, which I feel like those that purchase this palette, those are going to be the colors a lot. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of y'all gravitate towards. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys want to see how those perform. So, I'm going to go in with the Morphe M504, and I'm going to mix, or maybe we'll just go in solo with Cup of Tea, which is this shade here. I'm already getting fingerprints all over this brush, but I really do appreciate the size of this mirror. I am seeing a little bit of kick up, but nothing too crazy though. And, oh, okay. I am impressed so far. This is such a pretty color. It's kind of like the perfect orangey camel brown shade. And y'all know, since I don't have a defined crease, I always like to go in it and kind of just like blast that color all over. Now, if you've never watched one of my eyeshadow tutorials before, I'm not gonna lie, it starts off messy, but at the end, it always comes together. So don't be over there judging the mess out of me. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a smaller brush. Let's use the Sigma E25 blending brush. And let's try this shade down here. This one is called Danger. It's kind of like a deeper, like blush color. And I'm going to place that right on the outer corner and pull it inward. I want to say this palette was like 15 bucks, and so far the shadows are performing very, very well. Ooh, I like that color. Okay, so I'm just going to continue kind of pulling the shade in. And then I like to flick it out a bit as well too. We're just going all over the eye. If you have hooded eyes like me, Team Hood, I just literally wedge this brush in here, kind of feel where that like orbital socket is. And I mean, that's your crease. You might not be able to see it from the outside, but you can feel it. So I just shove it in there and just blend. Okay, now let's try. This orange is really calling my name. I have the little sheet down here. This one is called Pumpkin. It's another matte shade. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to kind of just press this into the middle portion of my crease, and same thing, back and forth. Really liking how these shadows are blending out. Nothing is getting muddy. They're blending together like seamlessly. Okay, now for my actual lid, I do want to go in with shimmer. As you can see, we do have several options here. I really want to test this gold out here. This one is called Grow Old. Whenever I swatched it with my finger in my previous video, it did feel a little bit crumbly. So let's see, I'm going to go in, oh, just kidding. It kind of applies like one of the Makeup Geek foiled shadows. You do have to use a little bit more of the product. If you've got your finger in here, you would know exactly what I was talking about. It's not a dry, crumbly feeling. It's honestly the kind of like texture of the Makeup Geek foiled shadows. I feel like that's the best way to explain it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Fix Plus and dip back into, okay, there we go. Now that color is really poppin'. Wow. That's a really, really pretty gold. Now, just to deepen it up a bit, we are going to go in with the shade of Rosewood, which is just this really rich, matte brown. And I'm just going to take a dollop of Daisy of that shade and just kind of blend it a little bit here on the outer corner. We'll definitely go in and do another look this week with some of the other shades. I don't know if I'll film it or not, but that way at the end of the week I can really give you like a thorough review of my thoughts on the palette. Okay, now for the product that I'm probably the most excited for. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour Concealer. I know there are several videos out there circulating saying that it could be a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. I didn't want to spoil it for myself, so I didn't watch any of those. But I ended up with the shade C4, which I do think is a little bit light. It does have the doe foot applicator. As I mentioned in my previous video, I thought the shade looked pretty similar to my Shape Tape, so we'll see. My Tarte Shape Tape is basically completely gone anyways. So far, I definitely feel like I get more coverage from the Tarte Shape Tape over this one. Like, this one's nice. It is blending, but I don't think I could really compare this to Tarte Shape Tape. I mean, that one I feel like covers anything and everything. This does feel nice and lightweight though. I'm not noticing like any crazy cakiness or heaviness on my under eyes, which, I mean, I can always appreciate. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I had higher hopes. I mean, it's not bad at all. It looks nice on the skin, but I was expecting a bit more. I feel like it's a lot brighter right here than down here. I might go in with another concealer, or maybe I'll just add a bit more. I already feel like I really piled it on, but I'm not getting the results that I was expecting. I feel like such a brat, but we're being honest here, people. Okay, let's just press this in a little bit more. Okay, that's better. It's good that it's a buildable formula and not something that where, like, you know, you apply a second layer and it basically peels off the first layer that you had down. But I don't think you can compare this to Tarte Shape Tape. I personally don't. Like, if I were to put that much Tarte Shape Tape on, my face would basically be concealer and that's it. Like, everything would be covered. There would be no freckles. It did a good job of concealing and brightening, but I still feel like I'm getting a little bit of like a shadowy vibe right here. The lights are definitely helping, but when I look in my own personal mirror, I can still see a little bit of just something going on down there. The highlighter that I'm going to start off with, maybe possibly as a standalone highlighter, but most likely a base, is the Makeup Revolution Luminous Gold Liquid Highlighter. So just from first glance, you're probably thinking, that looks a little familiar. I have the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops here in the shade Sunlight. So as you can see, the packaging of the Makeup Revolution one is slightly bigger. In Makeup Revolution, you get 0.61 ounces, and then in the Cover FX, you get 0.5 fluid ounces. So just for a side-by-side comparison, I'm going to give you all a little swatch. The applicator is very similar on both. So we have the Makeup Revolution and then the Cover FX. Now, these two shades aren't spot on, but they were the closest that I had in my collection. So this side here is Cover FX, which, I mean, that one is just like straight up molten metal. And then here is the Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolutions is slightly more sheer, but overall they're kind of giving off the same vibes, right? Very, very nice. I do like to mix a tiny drop of these sometimes in with my foundation or wear them alone and then still go in with a highlighter on top. Now, obviously just like flat on their own, if you were to just swipe it on, that would be way too much. So what I like to do is take a drop on the back of my hands. So we are going to be using the Makeup Revolution one. And I'll just do one drop just like that. I'll kind of lightly spread it out, but not fully shear it out. And then go in with my Beauty Blender, kind of like pounce it right in. And then just, that's pretty. Just gonna bounce this right at the tops of my cheeks. This guy over here needs a little bit more blending. I'm noticing right off the bat, this one is a little bit more user-friendly. Sometimes with the Cover FX one, since it is so pigmented, you can just be like, bam, like metal steel cheekbones right away. This one does seem to be a little bit more sheer to where you could go in and build it up. Okay, so that is actually really pretty, but I still am gonna go in with a second highlighter. Now, in my last video, I was saying that the swatches of this L'Oreal palette were just not blowing me away. Let's see if maybe they'll surprise me with a little bit of Fix Plus and a brush. I normally always spritz a little bit of Fix Plus on my brush first. I just like the look of it. Whenever I swatch these, this one was the smoothest, but I just feel like that might be a little bit too dark. So I'm going to mix both of these shades here It did pick up quite a bit on my brush. And I'm just going to lightly, this was a very sad Sigma brush that broke. Sweep some of this right on top of the highlighter. The combo together isn't bad at all. Obviously later this week, I'll definitely try it on its own to see how it goes, but that combination is actually really, really pretty. Okay, now going back into the 𝗏 palette, I'm gonna grab some of these shadows and just smudge it out on my lower lash line. Let's go back in with Cup of Tea, which that was the very first shade that I used in my crease. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on a Makeup Geek crease brush, and I'm just going to run this guy right onto my lower lash line. I actually forgot to bring my eyeliner downstairs with me. I've been obsessed with the Ardell Get Lucky Gel Liner, both in brown and black. That eyeliner is freaking bomb. It like smudges out so nicely, lasts on your eyes all day. It's just so good. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with, let's do a little bit of Rosewood, which was the first shade that I used on my outer corner, kind of like the blushy toned one. And I'm just going to lay this right on top. I think today I'm going to go in with the Pixi by Petra Matte Last liquid lips. I am going to line my lips first though, because I feel like no matter what product I wear, I pretty much always line my lips. So for my lip liner, this is nothing new. It's just the 𝐝𝐴 Longwear Cream Lip Liner in the shade Nude, because that pretty much always goes with whatever I'm wearing. Howard, can we not do that right now? So I have the shade Matte Beige, which is just a really pretty kind of true nude. And then I have Really Rose, which is more of like a blushy type of color. Both are really pretty. I think I'm going to go in with Matte Beige though. So this does have a doe foot applicator with a little bit of, look at this brow. That brow hair is like so long, it needs to be trimmed. With a little bit of a well in it. So, oh my gosh, it's so like silky smooth. It has like a very, very faint smell. I can't quite figure out what it is. The applicator has like a good flex to it. It's like not too firm, but then it's not super, super wiggly either. And the point on it is like just the right size. So that color is pretty, but I feel like I want a little bit more pink. So maybe we'll just top it with a little bit of Really Rose. It's still a slightly, not tacky, but I can just tell that it's slightly wet. It has like a really nice kind of satin, slightly powder-like finish. So I'm going to mix a little bit of Really Rose with it. While this color is pretty, I just want a little bit more pink. So, oh yeah. I like it. As it dries, I'm not getting any sort of like weird tightness or anything like that. Wow, this color is really pretty. I hope it doesn't do like anything funky as it dries, because right now it's such a comfortable formula. You get that matte look without it feeling like dry or making your lips look crazy and like crepey looking. That is so pretty. Yay, I'm excited. There's the highlighter, the lips, the eyeshadow. Oh, I did add a little bit of this shade here into my inner corner, which I can already tell you, I think I'm going to mix these two shades here, maybe tomorrow. Look at all my janky fingerprints. As a highlighter, because as an inner corner highlight, I thought that shade was so pretty. I can't wait to use some of these other shades. I think I might try this blue brown shade tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, but so far really impressed. Can't wait to use it for the rest of the week and update you guys later. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm really excited for like the full wrap up after trying more of these products and really kind of like mixing and matching, especially with this guy here, because I don't know, I'm really curious to go watch some other reviews now on what people thought of this. Maybe it just did not mesh well with the Maybelline foundation, because today, like, it's not bad, it's just not what I expected. I expected like way more coverage and for it to just like blow me away, and it just didn't really do that today. As I said a million times already, I am going to continue using it throughout the week just so I can give you guys a full thorough review, because as fun as first impressions and haul videos are, so many of us are so bad about like hopping back on here and letting you guys know like, okay, at the end of the day, this is what I think about the product. And sometimes first impressions can like suck, but then like a week down the road, you love it. So I just really want to make sure that I'm really giving these products a full, fair chance. So yeah, I think that's it for this one. Let me know down below which product like on camera impressed you the most so far. And yeah, I will see you guys later this week with a full wrap up of all the products. I'm sure there'll be some other video between now and then. Let me know if you guys have any ideas that you guys are wanting to see. And yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please take the time to subscribe. I would love to see y'all, hang out with y'all, chat with y'all in the next one. If you haven't already, definitely go follow me on Instagram. I'm always up to date on there on stories, making a fool of myself. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.